What's up, math scholars? I'm here bright and early at 7 a.m. It's Thursday. I'm getting a lot of questions in about Varsity Learn problems and people having troubles. So rather than email all of you back individually, I thought we would look at a few of the more difficult problems together, and that should help you out. You'll have the same types of questions on your slideshow, but on your Varsity Learn assignment, but some of the numbers may have changed. All right, so first of all, a lot of people are confused on the graphs. When they email me, they tell me, I don't know how to do the graphs. So to me, this was the hardest graph problem because it's going to make a parabola shape. You will be needing to use the parabola tool, but let's go ahead and write out the variation equation. It says graph the equation implied by the given variation. Y varies directly with the square of x. So y equals kx squared. It's always our job to figure out that k value. So place the 12 in for y, place the 2 in for x, and then you divide both sides by 4, so k is 3. So the variation equation, which oftentimes is what they want to go in the answer box, is y equals 3x squared. And we just have to graph that parabola. Every single direct variation function is going to go through 0, 0. So my advice is put one of your two coordinates on 0, 0. And then let's just figure out what y would equal if x is 1. So if I put a 1 in for x, y would equal 3. So go ahead and graph the coordinate 1, 3. And then if you are using the parabola tool, a parabola will automatically appear, and it will give you credit for that. So you only need 2 coordinates for these parabola graphs. This is such an easy problem, but students just don't know what needs to go in that box. It's the pink step that goes in the box. If you've watched my lessons, I do these steps with 3 colors. First, I do the blue step, and that's reading y varies directly as x. Then I do the green step, and that's solving for k. Y equals k times 2. Divide both sides by 2, and that completes the green step. Here comes the pink step. That's rewriting the original variation equation with the 2 in for k. And that's what they wanted in the box. Okay. Well, hopefully that helps you out if you have been doing these problems right and Varsity Learn's been counting them all wrong. I've been hearing that a lot. All right, this one, let me get my colors. The distance s that an object falls varies directly with the square of time of the fall. If the object falls for 16 feet in 1 second, pause right there. That's enough information to solve for k. It fell 16 feet in 1 second. I would divide both sides by 1. I would get that k is 16. When I do my pink step and I put it in, I got 16 times t squared. That's my pink step. But now I can actually use it to do this task. How long would it take to fall 64 feet? A little different. We're given the distance and we're solving for time. So this is going to be my setup. When I divide 64 divided by 16, I get 4. And then when I square root both sides, I get 2. So that answer would be 2 seconds. All right, another graph problem. A lot of people ask me about this one. It is a bit confusing with the temperature 200K. That K stands for Kelvin. I sure wish they would have told you that. So a temperature of 200 Kelvin, you ignore the K and you just use the 200. The temperature of gas varies directly with pressure. So that's my setup. Temperature of gas varies directly with pressure. A temperature of 200 produces a pressure of 50 pounds. Divide both sides by 50, and you'll get K equals 4. Now my pink step is what they want in the box. My pink step would be T equals 4 times P. That's what they want in this box up here. As far as graphing it, it is a straight line. Again, I would for sure advise you to graph 0, 0. And then when I was helping people, we just graphed 60, 240. Because if you put a 60 in and multiply by 4, you get 240. And it does kind of lock into a position just below 250 when you graph it. I have helped dozens of students, and it always counts it right if you get your dot just below 250. And then finally down here at the bottom, part C, what pressure will the gas have at, is that a 460? It's just blurry on my smartboard. Yeah, it's a 460. What will the pressure be if the temperature is 460? So 460 is going in for temperature, and I have to divide by 4 to get the pressure. 115. That would go in this box. Okay. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Again, I think a lot of you are just confused at what answer do you put in the box. It's the pink step. Let's do the blue step. Y varies inversely as the square of x. Y equals 2 when x equals 8. And then I would multiply both sides by 64 to solve this one. 64 times 2 is 128. That completes your green step. And then the pink step goes in the box. So what goes in the box? 128 over x squared. All right, another one with the Kelvin. I get a lot of people asking about these word problems. The volume of a gas varies directly with temperature and inversely with pressure. If it's directly, you put it in the numerator. If it's inversely, you put it in the denominator. The volume of a gas is 20 at a temperature of 300 Kelvin and a pressure of 30. Now, I watch people using really big numbers in this problem. You can use math canceling. It's so fun. Watch. If you cancel your zeros, that essentially divides yourself by 10. 30 divided by 3 gives me 10. And then I just divide both sides by 10 and get 2. That completes my green step. My pink step is to put a 2 in for K. And now let's actually do what we are asked to do. What is the volume of the gas at 320 Kelvin, that's my temperature, with the pressure of 20? So you can either type it in or use some math magic. Watch this. I can cancel my zeros, that divides me by 10. I can cancel my 2's, that divides me by 2. So it's just going to be 32, and that's a volume. So we would label it cubic feet. Ooh, that's really small. That's our last one. F varies directly with M. F varies directly with M and inversely with the square of D. That's step 1. Step 2, if D equals 8, when M is 1920 and F is 150, pause right there. Let's solve for K. I would multiply both sides by 8 squared, which is 64, and that'll move it over to this side. So 64 times 150 is going to be 9,600. And then I've got K times 1920. Divide both sides by the 1920, and K ends up being 5. So my pink step would look like this. 5 times M over D squared. And finally, we get to do the task. Find D. Ooh, that's going to be tricky because D's in the denominator. Find D when F is 100 and M is 320. So a lot of you were emailing me asking, why do they have 2 blanks for D? They have 2 blanks for D because D is D squared. Anytime you're solving for D squared, you're going to be using square roots and getting 2 answers. So let's go over here and find that answer. I would multiply both sides by D squared just to get it out of the denominator. You don't like to have variables in the denominator. Then I got 100 D squared equals, let's just do the 5 times the 320, 1600. When I divide both sides by 100, I would get 16. And then when I would square root, I'd get positive 4 and negative 4. And that's why there's 2 boxes up there. 1 box for positive 4 and 1 box for negative 4. Okay, hopefully this helped you guys. Again, I just decided to make this video because I probably had 20 emails last night, mostly from the e-learners. I can't advise you enough to join the Google Meets during the day. We did several Varsity Learn questions yesterday during our Q&A sessions, and I run the Google Meet 6 periods a day. First period, second period, fourth period, fifth period, seventh period, eighth period, and we'd love to have you join in. You can ask the questions you might have right there in the Google Meet, and everybody can benefit from it. All right, have a good day.